Welcome back, Panthers, to the LRS broadcast. Your hosts this week are Asa Metcalf
and Avery Asa.
In this week's broadcast, there are grade 8 through 12 winter formal dance, Department of Safety and 911 assembly, quarter 3 ends, and 3v3 basketball tournament.
As well as North Country Music Festival, floor hockey, WCAX, recycled percussion, Pie Week, Sports Award, AB composition field trip, and PAWS trip.
We go with the first story about the Wizard of Oz play, and now to Carter Colby.
When was the play?
March 6th, 7th, and 8th.
What role did you play in the play?
I got Dorothy.
Is that the lead role?
Yes.
How did you get to where you were in the play?
I had to do 5 other shows before this, so I had to prove myself that I was able to get that role through a lot of work and dedication and time put into it.
Nice. Did you enjoy being in the play?
Did I enjoy acting in the play? Yeah, let's go with that.
Is there anything that went wrong on the stage that you guys had to cover up?
There's always something that's gone wrong on stage, but you have to improvise most of the time, because when you're working with little kids, there's nothing that won't go wrong.
Oh, okay.
But you get used to it after a while. But nothing too crucial went wrong.
Can you tell us something that went wrong
this time? So the first time we were doing the show, we have our little monkeys. So we have our little monkeys that are supposed to come on the stage. There's 6 of them. 2 went on stage. And we're standing there. I don't have any lines, so we start whispering to each other like little scared things. I don't know what we're supposed to do because I want to go on stage. So it takes them, I kid you not, 2.5 minutes to get on stage. For the most part, nothing really went wrong, but that was only the first day. After that, they learned.
Thank you, Carter, for the information about the play.
Now we go to Braden McAndrew with the floor hockey tournament.
On Friday, March 14th, the Student Council organized a community floor hockey tournament. Let's see what Miss Jellison had to say. How fun was the hockey tournament?
The floor hockey tournament is always a good time. Lots of people come, and the crowd is amazing to play in front of.
How did it feel to play in front of a lot of people?
It's a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm not all that athletic, so running around and pretending to know what I'm doing is a little nerve-wracking, but it's always a good time. It's for a good cause.
How much money did you raise for Student Council?
Student Council raised $811, and that money will go towards making prom even better.
Thank you to everyone who played hockey or came to watch the games. Next year will be bigger and better.
Thank you, Braden, for the story.
Now we go to Maya with the North Country Music Festival.
What was the North Country Music Festival about?
So the North Country Community Festival is basically where a bunch of schools get together and meet up in this one place, and they take the best of the best musicians and they play music together. That's pretty much it.
Did you like doing it?
I love doing it. This is my 2nd year doing it, and we had a great time this year. It was over in Berlin this year. It was really great.
What are some of the instruments people use?
Well, it's mainly just classical instruments from trumpets, which is my department, to oboes, just concert instruments. And it's not just instruments, it's also choir too. Choir goes as well, so it's a lot of fun.
Thanks, Maya.
Now we go to Asa with his story on WCAX.
Has something ever gone wrong when you guys are live?
Next question. Next question.
Yes, things sometimes go wrong. Sometimes it's to nobody's fault, and sometimes it's somebody's fault. But sometimes just things don't, like graphics don't fire, or like they'll like half fire. So a lot of times what you see like in layers, like red, blue, and white. It's like, you know, the words, you can't read it very well. But a lot of times you either just pull it down or kind of just plot through it. But
yeah, I mean, what like that he's referring to, like upstairs, everything went pretty smooth today, it would appear. Alexander's training, there's a lot of intricacies because all the systems kind of need to work together, and even the graphics got to play together, and there's things you need to do, and if you don't do them in the right sequence, things will not play out as you want to at times.
Yeah.
So it's not really fault, it's just kind of, it's always either communication or learning for the most part, right?
Yeah. No, that's not a slight at these guys either. Sometimes
yeah.
it's just like, like I had a show at one of my first job, and we just had no video, like nothing worked. Yeah. So we were just like out here like, so
just keep talking.
Could have seen. Things go wrong, but a lot of times you just try to work around it.
Yeah. How do you guys endure the pressure of being live all the time?
Good question.
Man,
I don't feel like I even ever think about it.
Yeah, I don't really think about it.
Yeah,
I mean, there's more pressure when like you guys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
it's because we don't see anybody. We just see the cameras, and we don't really think about what's on the other side. But like when somebody's actually in the studio, or like when we're like zoo animals and you're watching us from up there, it's like, oh, we notice that a lot more than the cameras.
That in time. Yeah. When I first started, I was a little more nervous, but now I don't know. This is just a room. That's the best way to put it. Yeah.
What is the craziest story that you've had?
I remember like a gas station. It's like the gas station that supplies gas to other stations, like the tanker station, like exploded. So there's like a big crater in the ground. We had a plane crash.
I mean, that woman in the clothespin today is a little weird.
That is a horrible story.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I don't know. What about you?
We had one day at my first job in Duluth where there was a police standoff, and this person was holding hostages, and we had that going on, and then next thing you know, a plane crashed at the airport, and also it was like we had the biggest ski race in the country happening in our DMA. So all of our managers are at the ski race, and they're like, you also have to cover the plane crash and this hostage standoff situation now. And that was
we can go 0 to 60 real quick.
Yeah,
it can be monotony Monday through Friday, or all of a sudden prisoners escape from Dannemora and then we're there all summer looking for them, or there's flooding, or Irene hits and we're on air nonstop, or COVID, where it's like there's 4 people in the building and we're on air all the time, right? So we go through these times of just monotony. We're doing our jobs, the daily news, but then it really can ramp up quick when something big happens that affects the whole community, right? Yeah.
Thank you, Asa, for the info on WCAX.
Now we give Cadence the spotlight with her big story.
Hi everyone, I'm Cadence Ritchie, and today for my first big story piece, I decided to take a closer look at a wonderful nonprofit that often flies under the radar. This nonprofit is, of course, the Lisbon Art Gallery. It's overseen by the Amanuense Region Arts Council. This community-oriented store helps local artists by not only hosting their art, but offering various art classes at a realistic price. Now we move on to my discussion with the splendid Paul Benoit for more details. How long have you worked at the art gallery?
Over 15 years.
15 years. And when did it first open?
So it opened in 1992, so long before I came in, but been here a long time.
And what type of artwork do you guys exhibit?
So it's pretty much anything. We say anything that can be displayed in a physical place. So paintings, pottery, fabric art, jewelry, those kind of things tend to be the most typical.
What kind of like inspired the beginnings of this art gallery?
So it was begun as just a group of artists who got together and just wanted to collaborate together to help each other. And then out of that eventually came the gallery part of it, which is the shop that you see here in Lisbon. So it was just put together as a place that those artists could put their work and show it to the public.
Nice, yeah. How do the prices kind of vary from like typical art galleries? Because this one's like a non-profit and very like community oriented.
Yeah. So the prices do, in general, they'll be cheaper than most places. But here, because we are what we are, basically a gathering of artists, the artists themselves determine the prices. And then how it works, typically in the art business, everything's on commission. So if you go to a gallery, typically the artist gets a certain portion of the sales, which might only be half, right? So the place can take a large quantity. We take a much smaller fraction, all right, because we're a nonprofit. And we just basically charge enough to keep the place open. It's always been a place for artists who are local, in the sense of being either Vermont or New Hampshire, up here in the north.
Are there any like Lisbon students who have submitted art here?
Yes, in the past we've had shows, which they're Lisbon kids, all right, in addition to other local kids. We heavily encourage young people to do it, because getting into art's really hard. It's a challenge to find a place that will show your work if you're not known already. I mean, it's kind of ironic, right? That the only way to actually get your work somewhere where people can buy it is if you're already well known.
Can you recall maybe like a special moment that the art gallery has facilitated?
I think a special moment for me was that we actually had a young artist. She was trying to set up as an artist here in the area. And again, nobody would take her work, right? So yeah, we just let her take over. It was kind of special for me just to give her a chance to show her work and be proud of showing her work out here in public. So yeah, for me, that would be a good moment.
Are there any other activities that you guys kind of do in the community that you'd like to speak on?
We do various events for small kids, all right, so especially around holidays. So it's usually a chance for them to make a piece of art, which they can give to their parents or something as a gift.
I was reading on your website that does Woodsville Guarantee Saving Banks donate this space to you, like free of charge?
So they own the building, and they've been incredibly generous ever since the gallery opened in 1992 to let us stay here and work.
If you could summarize your time at the gallery in a couple words, what words would you choose?
So, interesting, fun. I'll just go with those two. Yeah, just a chance to be around other people that see things in a very different way. Right? So, which is what art's all about, right? To get out there and show your own perspective on life and things going on in life. So, it's a way to meet very interesting people.
Big thanks to Paul for taking the time to sit down with me. And now Janice Bailog will give a quick explanation of one of the many ways this art gallery gives back to the community.
Gallery is also home to the Hope Chest, which is a collection of donated mostly handmade items for people who are experiencing health problems, mostly cancer, and lose their hair and things like that. So there's lots of hats and scarves and shawls and all sorts of other stuff, and it's all free. And people just come in and take what they want, and sometimes they bring things to donate. So it's helpful.
I'd like to thank the Lisbon Art Gallery, specifically Paul and Janice, for allowing me to invade their space and spread awareness on this community uplifter. The art gallery is open Thursday to Sunday, so next time you're in town, make sure to stop by and support the local art gallery. Now we go back to the host.
Thank you, Cadence, for the great piece.
Now we'll go to Maya Shannon with Recycled Percussion.
The lottery, through sales of tickets and what your parents buy and games around the state, a portion of that money goes to the state's education trust fund and then is distributed from the state to the local schools.
What does cycle percussion do for children in the schools?
So we started as just a band at a high school talent show. And I think that's one of the coolest parts about it is that we began at a school. So, we always teach kids about being creative and how you can use the world around you for not only instruments, but just for creative ideas in general. There's so many different ways to use things that people look at in an ordinary way every single day. So we've had a lot of success, and we were on the TV show America's Got Talent. We had a headline show in Las Vegas for many years, and we wanted to do something meaningful with our platform and with our success. So we started to do some charity work and develop a nonprofit organization, and that kind of turned into our TV show Chaos and Kindness, which is also a clothing brand, and it's all about having purpose. Just two things. So it's chaos and kindness. So it's living life to the fullest, doing crazy fun things, just enjoying the things around you the best you possibly can, and also just being kind to people, giving back to people, and just that carries over into the next generation. So kids are really important to us because the way that we treat kids and the thoughts that we put into their heads kind of are going to be our future. So we'd love to visit schools and talk to kids and perform for them. It's a really fun assembly for kids, especially because it's one of the coolest assemblies you'll ever have. We perform on all these cool objects. We play games with the kids. Sometimes we do money giveaways, just things that they go crazy for. And also we get a chance to instill, kindness into them and let them know that bullying's not cool. And, some of the things that commonly happen in schools where kids think that they're going to be more popular if they bully kids or if they, do certain things that even they're not comfortable with, but they think they should do. So sometimes you need someone who's not like a teacher, someone who the kids think is cool to kind of instill those things into them so they respect you and listen to you. So yeah, that's kind of what we like to do.
Thank you, Maya, for the great interview.
Now I put the spotlight on Avery with his big story.
Made you start a business in Lisbon?
I think we've been doing, both of us have been doing physical therapy for quite a while. I spent a lot of time up at Littleton Hospital, and through those years I saw a need for therapy services in this area. I think it was a great opportunity for us, and it presented itself, and something we've always wanted to do, and provide some good services to the community that they don't need to travel out of their way to get there. And then we can also kind of offer some different bonus services with our strength and conditioning side of things. And anything else that you want to add?
No, there just wasn't a whole lot in the area, and the waiting list to have physical therapy is just growing for people, and I think that was a big thing for us, is if we could open up a clinic and allow people to get seen sooner, and then that way they're starting their rehab and getting back to their goals and everything that they want to do a little quicker. So I think that was the big push for us. So.
Do you guys do anything to contribute to Lisbon for its people or the school?
Yeah, I think Heather and I are both very much rooted in this community. So the youth sports and coaching, that's a big part of our lives. Our kids are obviously going to go through Lisbon School. And then we saw an opportunity that there was a need for strength and conditioning work with some of the student athletes that go here. I know a lot of Lisbon students that want to kind of gain an edge on the athletic fields, and I thought that was something we could offer.
We also provide school physical therapy for students that need it at Lisbon. So whether they need help just accessing the building or going on a field trip or working on some different life skills and getting stronger and moving about, we also work with the students at Lisbon there.
Do you guys offer more than just physical training?
Yeah, so we do physical therapy. We now offer occupational therapy, so that kind of encompasses more of the hand injuries and hand rehab. We do some group classes that we do with adults and teens here on some of the weeknights where we do some strength training and mobility work with them. And then the next plan is to be able to offer it to student athletes.
Thank you. Thank you. What happened to make you come here?
I had a dirt bike accident over the summer, and I ended up tearing my labrum and fracturing my shoulder.
What do they do for you here?
Well, we're trying to get my strength back and trying to get it back to normal how it was before. It was really never normal after I had an accident over 2 years ago. So we're trying to get strength built back up. Everything.
Are there various exercises for your arm?
Yeah, there is many that I have to do at home and here.
And do you like it here?
Yes, it's very welcoming. It's a great family that has opened a very great business to welcome all student athletes and other people.
Thank you.
That was great, Avery. Now to Eben with the PAWS Ice Climbing trip.
So, Araya, would you tell me a little bit about the PAWS trip?
Yeah. So on Monday, the PAWS trip, we took a trip up to North Conway and went climbing up on a little mountain. It was super fun. We had two amazing guys, what's their name, Chris and Mark. They were very, very awesome. They helped us get all of our bindings and our crampons, our boots. They fit us, taught us all the safety procedures. It was a really fun experience. We got to try something new, and everybody seemed to really love it.
Thank you, Eben, for the great piece on the PAWS trip.
Like, subscribe, and hit the post notifications bell. We'll see you next time, Panthers.